All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So, once again, I'm almost making the exact same video I made on the 5th. Bitcoin continues to fly, breaking all-time highs, but it's not bringing the minor stocks with it. It's really, really weird. Marathon, Riot, Any, WULF, Bitfarm, BTB. I'm going to look at a bunch of them, right? But this is really less about the technicals and more about the disconnect from Bitcoin. And then really the other thing I'm going to do that I didn't talk about on the last video, Coinbase is still running. So I am shocked that Bitcoin is going up, Coinbase is going up, and that's not enough to bring the sector together. It's crazy. And I don't know a lot of financials. I'm really excited to hear what people think about Coin versus the other ones, because honestly, I'm at a little bit of a loss, because if you watch my videos, I believe sectors move together, right? You should see all go up, all go down, not 90 one way and 9, you get what I'm saying. So, but before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad if you disagree. I'm telling you, when you disagree, amazing things happen. We both do learn, so I don't say that jokingly, all right? But hey, if you can share the video, it does wonders. Otherwise, let's get into this, all right? So this first half is just going to be me talking a little bit more than looking at the technicals, all right? And I am very, very much looking forward to hear what you think as well. But again, I'm at a loss for words, all right? I'm not necessarily screaming. It's funny. Let me take it back. I was less worried on the 5th when I made my last video. Again, it was the same comments, right? But I wasn't as worried. I think I'm way more worried on this video for a lot of the miners, mainly because they're all losing a really important line. This one you can see is the 50. It's funny, I said there's going to be no technicals on this, and there I go, right? But the Riot is actually under all of them. Any, I believe, is under all of them. WULF, I believe, has lost a bunch, if not all of them, etc. Right? So again, it's just more significant lines have been lost, but Bitcoin keeps crushing it. Not only is Bitcoin crushing it, I'm seeing so many little random little coins and altcoins doing well too, right? So it smells like an amazing moment to make money in the miners, but it's not happening. And again, I said it on the last video. This was not my theory. I really look. You can see it. We're already talking about. I just saw it. Where was Marathon? I mean, we're talking about this in the Discord, right? But I'm gonna go to Goldmine. I really, really liked this explanation of it. Deleted user, my boy. That was Mr. Onion right there. Okay, look. The cost of mining goes up, but there's less gold in the mine, right? That's what's supposed to happen with the halving, however you want to say that, right? So the theory kind of just is they're still paying, $10, whatever. I'm making up numbers. I shouldn't be doing that, right? But like the operating cost to harvest is going to be the same, but there's going to be less to harvest. There's going to be less to share with others. There's going to be more losers as there's less, right? So I thought that was an interesting theory. Again, though, in my head, if Bitcoin's going up, those being the miners, all of them, they should too. And I'm at such a loss for thoughts. All right. And again, I mentioned this one in the beginning, and I'll get to Coinbase technicals at the end as well. But the other general theory I have is, look, when you're looking at a sector, one thing you want to do is rank them. All right. And Coinbase is arguably on the top, right? And it's weird because another one is Hood. Hood has also been going up, and I'm not sure if Coinbase and Hood are kind of separating themselves by not being miners. They're being more like financial institutions that are a little more altcoin heavy. That might be a thing that makes sense to me. Maybe they're not the same sector, even though I'm trying to like make the square fit in the circle. Like that might be a real thing, right? But I think in my simple head, Coinbase is a fundamental important stock for any altcoin stuff. So to me, it's the same sector as the miners. But hey, maybe as I'm kind of saying these words out loud and listening to them as I'm saying them, maybe they're not the same sector, and maybe that's why Coinbase is going up. Maybe that's why Hood is going up, and those others aren't, right? And jumping back to those others again, I was real honest. I was ready to hold during the marathon earnings. I almost broke my like golden rule, for lack of words, and like held earnings. I am glad I didn't, because clearly we went down 33%. We were pushing the 30 line when we were pre-earnings. We are now looking at 20 post-earnings, a quick $10, 33% loss, right? Horribleness, and why I always stress that earnings are bad, right? But yeah, I mean, it is, I'm going to repeat myself. So I am really hopeful to hear from you. Let me know if you think about my sector theory and this and that, but oh man, I'm at a loss for words. And again, I'm a little bit more concerned on this video because of the technicals I'm about to get into, all right? So 6:15 is where I'll make the next chapter. So look, marathon. We are now below moving averages. Look, I made my last video on the 5th, right? And we had just started losing the 8 and the 20. We obviously were actually below the 50 as well, right? But it was kind of the first real moment since this one, right? And it looked like the 50 did well right here. Looked like the 50 did well right here. I think I was hoping maybe it would do a little bit better. Even with Bitcoin still going up, it wasn't able to bring it down. It seems like we have now lost all three of these and are probably heading down here again. Look at just look at this: green, 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 red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 red. It makes a lot of sense to me that this thing's coming down to what, 1780, maybe 18, give or take, whatever we want to call it. But yeah, we're about to lose another 10% after today's 12% scariness, you know. Not much is happening after hours. Looks like there's like a baby recovery. Definitely nothing. MACD has a scary divergence. That looks like it is ready to go deep into the negatives. RSI was down. RSI came up. Looks like RSI is probably going to go back down. Is my guess. You know, sometimes we hope that it does something like this. Like it was actually almost doing it, right? Okay, you're in the middle. You go to the top. You go a little lower than the middle, but whatever. Then you go back to the top. You come back to the middle. I'm not sure we're going back to the top. I think we're heading back down, and you can see it. This thing's been a low RSI back in the day. I'm looking at 10. This has to be a single digit. That's 4. Goodness. October 23 is the long ways away, so it's not like that was around the corner necessarily. But yeah, marathon looks like it's not done. I at least see this coming to the 100. Hey, I'll be honest with you, there's even a decent shot it comes to 15, all right? When we look at RIOT, I mean, we are now under all the moving averages. We actually were under all the moving averages when I made my last video on the 5th. Clearly nothing's improved. Clearly we're seeing death cross, death cross, death cross, death cross. When a little one goes above them, that's a good golden cross. When a little one goes below them, that's a bad death cross. It looks like this 50 is about to death cross those, and it looks like the 20 is probably going to death cross a few as well. So this seems like it's going to keep going lower. We're already in a negative MACD with a bad divergence. This is, I know, a 30 RSI, and that's where it should go up, but no. This is where I believe it's going to go back down into these like single, look, this was a 17 in January. This was living at a 16, 17, it knows how to be a lot lower than 30, and I don't see any good here, right? And again, the trend is continuing with the last two. We'll take a look at WULF. I'm not really looking at these in any order. WULF is kind of holding a little better, maybe. Kind of was able to go from the bottom back to the top, back to the bottom, but again, I'm just seeing this 8 moving average death cross its way down, just like I saw on RIOT, right? It just seems like we're making our way down. This kind of did a little bit of of that up and down too. Yeah, just it seems like WULF is going to follow. It seems like WULF is probably going to be heading down to this 166. My line's right here at 160. You don't want to lose 160 for sure. That's a whole mess of red, 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 green, 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 little red, little green. Could be a big green down, man. I mean, that could be rough, right? Any's another one, right? I liked any. I was in any. I actually thought we were going to explode right here. I thought we were going to explode right here. I thought we were going to explode right here. We're now talking about potentially falling below all of them and dying, right? So believe me, I was watching every single one of these that I'm saying isn't looking good. And truth be told, I'm not looking anymore. I'm not. I am far too worried about the miners to do anything. And more than anything, I'm not trying to justify why this is wrong. I'm just playing the trade like the market is telling me to, and the market is telling me go trade something else. You know what I mean? I'll just look at a couple more, right? BITF, Bitfarm. This thing had some earnings reaction, if I'm not mistaken. But again, this thing has just kind of made its way down, and again, since the 5th, just made its way down, right? BTBT. Look, I'll leave it like MACD still not good, RSI still not good. RSI was lower not that long ago, right? This was a 19. I mean, I'm saying the exact same things about every single one of these. Another one under all the moving averages. That's a death cross. That's a death cross. That obviously death crossed a few. Negative MACD. RSI wasn't that long ago. It was at 10. I mean, the pattern is scary. And one last time, I'm not here arguing why this is manipulation. I'm not here trying to justify why this is wrong and I'm just gonna, hold and diamond head. No. I play the trade the market tells me to do. I play the trade that the lines tell me to do. I play the trade that the sector tells me to do. All of it is saying put your hard-earned money somewhere else. At least that's what it's saying to me. You know I'm never going to tell you what to do with your money, right? But just thoughts and opinions from a stranger. I'm telling you, I would love to hear yours. I'm going to move into Coinbase and Hood. Again, I want to start by, I think, echoing some words in the opening thoughts and in the non-technical thoughts, but I really was trying to call Coinbase sorry, if you can please subscribe, if you can please share the video, it does wonders. I thought that all those miners I just covered, all the ones that I didn't cover and everything in between, right? I thought they were all part of the same sector as Coinbase. As I look at Coinbase and Hood, which I'll give some technical thoughts on shortly, they're both going up in a really nice unison. And to me, I actually think this is because they're not miners. They are financial institutions that happen to care a little bit more about Bitcoin than most other institutions. And that's kind of helping them like ride and distinguish up, right? I don't know how accurate of a statement that is. I don't know how many people agree or disagree, but I think I'm starting to believe that as I'm saying the words and letting it absorb in my head a little bit more, right? But I mean, Coinbase has been a technical dream. This thing crushed it riding the 8 moving average. We obviously lose it here, but look, I mean, it wasn't the 50 that did it. It was basically the 100 moving average. I'm going to give the 100 a little more credit than my 120, my 112 line, honestly, and bounce back up. Again, once you break all 5, you fly. And once again, we have flown again, right? So Coinbase crushing it. Beautiful, beautiful MACD going up into the positive, actually at a better slope than it was right here. And you can actually see that reflecting on the price, right? RSI got really high, really hot, really low, really high, kind of comically actually. Normally I would say it seems like it's a little hot, but as I look right here, I mean, it wasn't that long ago. We were living in the 80s and 90s, right? So not the prettiest of candles today, but at the minimum, I think the worst I can expect this thing to do is just bounce on the 8 like it has been. So maybe we come around 230. Obviously, I'm saying I think this is going to come down, but I am wildly bullish on this as long as it's over the 8 and over the 20, especially if it's just riding the 8 like it did right here, right? So keep in mind that it wasn't really able to use the 20 in the bounce at all, right? It literally was the 8 alone that took us up from 6 to 18, right? 3xing it, right? So Not too sure how much confidence I'll have on the 20 on this one, but it is the 8 and the 20 for a reason, right? So I'm not going to just discount it. But yeah, I'll probably look at it with a little skepticism just because it actually did absolutely nothing right there, right? So let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you disagreed. Taking a look at Hood real quick as well in the same chapter. I mean, actually, exact same thoughts. We only ride the 8 up. We quickly lose the 20. So far, we're only riding the 8 up. Look, as long as we're over the 8 and the 20, my theory says we're bullish, right? But again, I'm gonna put a little less hope in the 20 only because of what happened not that long ago. But hey, if it hits it and bounces up, I'm not going to be surprised because I know the power of this little orange line, right? So yeah, again, same comments as Coinbase. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Oh, I appreciate you all so much.